All right, another instructional video here. This one is going to be for people that are wanting to set up their VTank. Now this is assuming that you already have downloaded all the appropriate VTank files, Verendy files, that you already have utility belt, most recent version, you have decal, and also mag tools. Now mag tools, there is a version inside of the Discord that'll be found under the install guide here channel. You'll want to download the one that says, let's see here, it's mag tools version, or it'll give a date, 2022-12-04. The reason being is there's some custom spells here like Armor Mastery, Heal Over Time, other stuff like that. And so you want to make sure that you have it where it includes that. It will not mess up the mag tools effects on other servers. It just simply has the additional piece of the spells here so that you don't get a bunch of errors on your screen that fill up your chat. Now, make sure that you do remove the old mag tools, you turn off decal, you install that new mag tools, make sure that you go to properties and unblock it, all that jazz. If you're not familiar, just make sure you kind of go through that process and reopen up decal and add mag tools, the new version here. Okay, so a couple things that we're going to go over. First thing we'll go over is VTank settings before we dive into mag tools. So in VTank, you want to make sure that you go into your advanced options, and if you're using heal kits, you'll want to go to recharge first and go down to your minimum heal kit success chance. Since our health pool is really low on this server in comparison to most end of retail, but your healing skill can get really high, I usually set it around at 20%. So as long as it has a 20% chance to succeed to heal, it'll still use kits instead of trying to use spells, because that's what we want. Also, you'll want to add your heal kits and your mana kits, stamina kits, all that stuff into the consumables. Okay. The other thing that goes into consumables for this server is we've got some buff gems here. You can craft your own or find them off of mobs like I've done here. This one here actually I crafted. I had a level 1 just random spell, doesn't matter what it was, but I got it from a starter town. Specifically was looking for a starter town that's show, so like Shaoxi, Hebian 2 is fine, Yanqi, any of the lower level ones, and because I'm a show, okay? So I did that so that the lore requirement would be lower. But anyways, this buff gem I've already added. It says right here, Tiger Eye of War Magic. I've already added that so that when I have buffing enabled on VTank, it will automatically know to buff, okay? Also in advanced options, then you would go to buffing, and you want to have your rebuff time remaining seconds. It's probably at like 1200 or something like that, but you want to lower that down to where you buff maybe at like, you know, a minute or two remaining. Right now I have it at, looks like 5 minutes. So I'm going to change that actually here. You want to get the most out of your buffs. So both those, I think it's only the time remaining seconds one that matters, but because it doesn't do idle buff on the server. So just have, I change it either way, just both those is fine. So that covers buffs, buff gems, how to add those in VTank so that you can be able to start buffing yourself. Make sure your buff gems are inside your gem pouch where they're safe from death if you're playing on hardcore mode. We went over recharge stuff. The next part, looting. Within the advanced options, you'll go to looting, read unknown scrolls. That will be on true, and you'll want to turn it to false. Reason being, VTank does not recognize those custom spells of heal over time, all that stuff, so it'll it'll pick it up, but then it won't be able to learn it, so it'll actually turn off your VTank And so you'll die because your V-Tank is now turned off, and it will no longer be fighting or healing or anything like that. So super important on those pieces. The next piece, and I will put this into the install guide here as well as on the website. I'll post this. But you want to have some of these commands that are set up. Okay, with MagTools, if you're going to be macroing, you can have it's under Tools, under Character. So on login complete, I like to do /VT space start. All that means is when I log in, it then turns on VTank automatically. So that way, if I have like a relogger or something like that, it's automatically going to start VTank when it logs in. This top one, that's the one that's too long to be able to show on this screen here, so I'll put it again into Discord and on the website. But this is going to be the command that essentially grabs mana stones that are filled and uses them on your gem pouch, which is why it's so important to make sure all your gems that you are using in VTank to buff, that they all fit in your gem pouch, because they will eventually run out of mana. You'll see this one here has 1,050 mana. Each time you buff, it uses 70 of that. So, you know, eventually it would run out of mana, which then again, VTank then crashes because it keeps trying to use that gem, but it can't. And it doesn't know to put mana into it unless you have this utility belt command that is going to add mana into that gem pouch, which it selects all the gems in here and disperses the mana across all of them. Empty auto pack. It's a feature maybe some of you guys don't use. That's okay. I'm not going to go into detail on that. I have it just so that it automatically runs that auto pack command, which then sorts everything into my proper packs. I like to do that. And then /fi is fix invisible. It's a custom command here. The only time it really matters is if you're fighting things and VTank doesn't recognize that it's still alive and your character will stop attacking it. It's probably because you had a cleaving weapon and one of the mobs next to it died, and so it thinks that you just killed the mob that is still standing there. And so /fi fixes the fact that VTank thinks it's invisible when it's actually not. It can also be known to fix objects that are truly invisible that you can't see. Maybe there's a glitch or something. You can always try /fi to see if that fixes it as well. But that's pretty much it. Oh, there's one more piece actually. No, sorry. We got to do mana stones. So in looting, we did read unknown scrolls. Scroll down, you have mana stone loot count. Okay, don't add mana stones onto your loot profile. Your VTank loot profile, don't do that. Add it here where you just how many you want. I like to do 24 so that I always have them stocked up. So when I'm running around doing quests and stuff, I don't have to keep picking stuff up as I go. I just have enough to last me for quite a while. I also then mana tank minimum mana. It's probably default, I think, at 1,000 or 1,200. Just go ahead and lower that down to like 300 or 500 just to be able to give wiggle room so it'll loot items that are not in your loot profile. It'll pick up items that are just for meeting this minimum mana requirement. Once you've done that, again, you can add your mana stones. So a blank major mana stone or a greater, do whatever is in the area that you're hunting. Right? Common sense is that, hey, like I'm only going to be able to pick up and use the ones that I have that I'm picking up while I'm hunting, right? So certain areas might drop major mana stones. Some of them might only drop lesser if you're on a lower level character. So add whatever is in the area you're hunting, a blank mana stone. It will then start picking them up off the next corpses that you're opening and begin grabbing those and then looking for items to fill their mana up with it. So that is pretty much everything in a nutshell. As far as the custom stuff you got to watch out for, and again, I will put the command, that full command into the Discord on the website so you guys know how to put that utility built command for using the mana stones on the pouch automatically. I'd set it at like an 8 or 10 minute timer. That way it's continually trying to fill that thing up. All right. Thanks for watching.